Yo, what is going on, everybody? How are we doing today? What up, what up, what up, what up? Hope everyone's having a beautiful... What's today? Monday night? Beautiful Monday night. And what we're here to do is we are here to talk about some Tokyo Ghoul. Now, I know this series has fallen out of relevance. Not too many people talk about this anymore, but we've been reading it for my members stream on Manga Monday, and all of my members have been enjoying it. I have been enjoying the series, and I wanted an excuse to kind of just talk and yap about it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is yap. I'm going to talk about all the different story arcs. I'm going to talk about all the different characters. I will be completely honest with you. I just read this story in a book club setting, reading out loud, and I have not critically analyzed the series. I haven't really thought too much about the series outside of the member streams that we do, and we mostly just read 10, 12 chapters here or there and then call it a night. So if I get anything wrong, if I don't remember any characters, or I misinterpret any other characters, most importantly your favorite character, I promise, I'm telling you, it's not my intention. I am in no means an expert on Tokyo Ghoul. I just wanted to have some fun, talk about what I think about the series, go through some of the story arcs, what I liked about them, what I didn't, and same with some of the characters. I think that's pretty fair. We will do our best. What up, Piggy? Happy Veterans Day indeed. What's up, JSARP? What's up, Krobin? Crystal Snake, how we doing? What's up, Digital Soul? What up, Tiberius? We're gonna hold you to every word. You know what? I know even after saying that, people will, so not much of a difference, right? But I've got two tier lists here. Two tier lists. Let me fix the window. These ads are awful. Oh my god. Where does this go? Does this not disappear? There's got to be a way. These ads are terrible. I've never seen ads this bad. Let's see if I can refresh. Okay, that's not too bad. Stay safe. Yeah, here I am clicking on shit. Presentation mode, I think. Ah, wow. In all my years of tier listing, I never knew about this. Way to come in clutch, Tiberius. Appreciate that. There are way too many rows. A, B, C, F, and then we can delete that row. Now, there are the Tokyo Ghoul re-arcs here. I couldn't find a tier list that did not have the Tokyo Ghoul re, so we're just going to pretend this is not here. I'm not even looking at them. I can't see any of it. We're going to be focusing on the top couple of arcs, which were in the original manga run. And then, oh my god, look at all these freaking ads. And then we're going to go into the characters, and we're going to go through all of my different opinions on the characters, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and we're going to rank them. But most importantly, and now that that explanation is out of the way, how the heck are all of you guys doing? I hope all of you guys are having a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Just know that I am sending you that spirit bomb energy. And if you don't think anyone's in your corner, I am 110% in your corner. That being said, I'm going to give it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to dive into story arcs first, because we can kind of go through them relatively quickly and get everyone's opinions out. And then we can go into the characters. Some characters will definitely be getting much more appreciation than others. That's for sure. There are some hitters, there are some stinkers, but we'll get into all of that, and we'll get into exactly why that is. Thank you, Tiberius, for saving my life with presentation mode. Questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? Juzo and Amon are the goats. Hey, you already saw who's on the thumbnail, so let's get into it, guys. Let's stop wasting any time and let's just get into the story arcs, and let me just break some of them down as much as I remember them. And again, I may be wrong about some things, misremember, or just completely forget some things. If you want to continue on and see my reaction to Tokyo Ghoul Re as we read through in our little book club, please feel free to become a member of the channel. You get that exclusive content directly to your feed every week on Monday. Normally this would be a member stream, but I figured since this was just a tier list, we could all hang out and we could just have some fun with everybody. Members are here, non-members are here, and yeah. Didn't even watch Tokyo Ghoul past season 1, and that was a year ago. Hey, well, I appreciate you watching. The one thing I will say is the manga was apparently very different from the anime. That reminds me, I definitely want to watch like a review or a breakdown of the anime and see how it's different from the regular manga run. So the first arc we have here is the introduction arc. It's the first 3 chapters, and it's essentially Ken Kaneki's introduction. Wow, who would have thought, of being a ghoul, of dealing with the hunger of being a ghoul, of dealing with the different tastes of being a ghoul, where you can no longer eat regular food. You have to eat meat, whether it's taking meat by killing another person, or as thankfully Kaneki is able to meet the owner of Anteku, Yoshimura. I think that's leader of Anteku, right? Yeah, Yoshimura. Good guy Yoshimura, who we'll definitely be talking about a lot more as the stream goes on. And one of the most interesting things to me about the series that really kind of got me interested was the dynamic between being a human and a ghoul examined through Kaneki. Kaneki became a ghoul because he thought a girl that liked him for him, when realistically she just wanted his meat, but not in the way that he thought she wanted. And luckily, someone who we find out much later in the arc is actually a clown, is someone that killed Rize and started this whole chain reaction of Kaneki being a half human, half ghoul, the new one-eyed ghoul. And yeah, I think the whole concept of being a ghoul as a whole is very interesting. I definitely can't deny that. And I think that's one of the most real aspects of the story up until we get into the introduction of the ghoul investigators, the CCG, because that's when we really see the lines and boundaries between ghouls and humans kind of blur together as to are we really much different? But yeah, so I think overall, while not much happens in the introduction arc, I think it's a pretty good introduction nonetheless. I'll give it a B. I can't give it an A or an S just based off of some of the things and arcs that will be put into A and S later on. But that being said, yeah, I think it's a solid introduction to everything. It's a little slow, and there's not many crazy things that happen besides Kaneki, you know, dealing with the terrible stress of being a freaking ghoul, which, hey, if you're into that, you can really get into it. Question of what a monster is in the Tokyo Ghoul verse is always changing. Very true, Tiberius. I know people that would actually want that more than the normal girl. Well, I think you should get those people some therapeutic help. I've recently gotten into ReZero light novels, and I just got to ask, why is the verse so OP? I haven't gotten into ReZero yet, but I've heard people really like it. But yeah, crazy girls, dommy mommies are not healthy. Get help. Get help, please. I'm just kidding. But the introduction arc leads right into Nishiki, and he somehow surprisingly gets his own arc because he's just an asshole ghoul who knows Kaneki's friend in college, or is it high school maybe? I think it's college actually. Knows Hideyoshi. And Nishiki is a ghoul living in normal society, and Kaneki is surprised that ghouls would live in normal society. And this is where, as we kind of talked about, where you actually see that there are ghouls that want to be living in humanity and don't want to have their, you know, their disguises ruined. Nishiki, we find out, has a human girlfriend, and he has a huge amount of attachment to the human world. Same with Toka. Toka is someone that wants to go to school, go through high school, and just live her normal life and maybe go to college and be normal. These ghouls want to be normal. They are ghouls at the end of the day. People that have to live their lives off of eating other humans. But at the end of the day, no matter how terrible they are, you know, they just want to be as normal as they possibly can. And Nishiki, when he realizes that he could potentially lose his stockhold on, you know, on life that he holds dear, especially from someone like Kaneki, who I think he had an encounter with Nishiki earlier, maybe in the introduction arc, or maybe at the start of chapter 4, that got them intervened. Could you imagine every time you tried to eat something, it would taste like that spoonful of mayo, and you have to pretend to chew it and swallow? Exactly. It is terrible to try and be a human, which it shows. That's also a really good point, because it shows how much these ghouls are willing to put up with to be human. Like, anytime Nishiki or anytime Toka eat in front of a normal human, they have to scarf down that barf and vomit that we learned about in the introduction arc, and how rough it was for Kaneki to even try and pretend to stomach. The Nishiki arc, I won't lie to you, the one thing I definitely do enjoy from the Nishiki arc is in order to be born into this world, every person must first destroy a world. I thought that was a awesome freaking quote. And I think Kaneki's first release of his Kagune and ability to fight off a more, you know, experienced ghoul like Nishiki is just a mere premonition of his powers. I like the Nishiki arc as it's an introduction to the terrible things that a ghoul is capable of, even quickly what Nishiki threatens to do to Hideyoshi and how Kaneki has to save him. Kaneki's corruption that begins as he delves into his ghoul powers to fight and save Hideyoshi. What's his friend? Hide? I know it's Hide, right? Is it Hideyoshi? Yeah, it is Hideyoshi. Cool. This is what I mean, where, like, I read through all of these chapters just recently, so it's like some of these names are kind of foggy to me. I know a face, but I might fuck up the names here or there. Honestly, though, I would put Nishiki in the grand scheme of things as a C, because I wouldn't want to read through that again. I feel like if I was to read through Nishiki arc again, I wouldn't want to do that. I feel like it's a great way to encapsulate, you know, the evil, you know, the dynamic between evil and good that a ghoul ranges, but I would definitely put the introduction arc over it and watching Kaneki go through his struggle of adapting to ghoul society. Much more, in my honest opinion. I'll put Nishiki arc at C. Maybe we'll move it up to B. But honestly, Nishiki didn't move me as a character. I wasn't really that too big of a fan of Nishiki in the overall grand scheme of things. There's going to be people that test Kaneki to push him closer to being a ghoul. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree, Tiberius. Hey, China Doll, what's going on? And thank you so much for the 5 gifted members. I appreciate the love as always. Making yourself known. Thank you so much, girl. Appreciate you. Next up is the Dove's Emergence arc, right? I believe. And the Dove's Emergence arc is our introduction to the CCG, our introduction to the ghouls, but it's also our introduction, in my opinion, to the human side of ghouls, or not even the human side of ghouls, because what's a human, what's a ghoul at a certain point, right? The more peaceful side of ghouls, the actual side of ghouls, where Nishiki shows the balance. This is the first where we see it leaned completely into a huge side, because Hana and right, that's Hinami. Hold on. See, this is what I mean. I think it's Hinami. Yeah, Hinami. And her mom. And what's her mom's name? Ryoko, right? Yes. Both super nice ghouls that Yoshimura keeps alive by giving them bodies, you know, of people that, you know, commit unaliving in a video game. And honestly, it's a beautiful and sad arc. It really is, because seeing how human these ghouls can actually appear in a vacuum, while at the same time getting introduced to the CCG and getting introduced to fucking psychopaths like Mato, who juxtapose the ghouls so well, because where the CCG is supposed to be fighting for justice, they're fighting for humans, right? They're fighting for the good of humanity. Sometimes there's some of the most deranged people out there. Mato, the Quinky fucking fiend, who is only interested in dissecting ghouls and turning them into weapons and using all the different weapons that they're capable of, has no mercy, slaughtering this poor girl's mom right in front of her, to the point that Hinami also almost loses herself, and if Kaneki didn't step in and save her. And the end of it is perfect, because sure, Toka gets her identity as the White Rabbit here. This is when she steps in to save Hinami from doing what her mom Ryoko wouldn't have wanted her to do, and give herself up in the name of of Mato's fucking bloodlust. But they're able to kill Mato. Surprisingly, they're able to kill Mato. And this is also the first moment where we see Kaneki meet up with Amon, and they have their first encounter, which sets up a trilogy of fights that are some of the most meaningful moments in Amon's career as a CCG investigator, honestly. I think the Dove's Emergence arc having Mato in it is a high tier arc. I genuinely enjoy Mato as a character. I think he was a fun and interesting introduction to the CCG, and how these so-called humans can also be more deranged than even the ghouls that they're cleaning the streets of, right? And I think the author really hits the nail on the head of the message, the overall message of what he's trying to get across in the story of Tokyo Ghoul. Whereas, again, the boundaries of human, the boundaries of ghoul are blurred beyond belief, to the point that they're almost unrecognizable. If you didn't know it better, it makes sense why they're so easily able to fit into human society. You know, you can't even tell them the difference besides what you have to eat. And the fact that there are ghouls that can live peacefully without hurting other ghouls or other humans, like Hinami and her mom Ryoko, where they can just live off of people that are taking their own lives anyway. You know, who are they harming by being alive? What is the CCG doing by completing this investigation and killing these two, as far as it goes, innocent girls, all in the name of saving humanity, when these girls were never a threat to humanity in the first place? It really opens up that question. And I have to say, you know, I'll give it an A for now. Maybe might drop down, it might go up, but genuinely, I think Dove's Emergence was as the big breakout into the overall world of Tokyo Ghoul. I really enjoyed it. And Scarlin, thank you for the 5. By the way, last stream I was here, you said I could request you played a quote from Yoshimura because you were tired. Can you play it? Yes, 100%. I'll tell you what, I will play it when it is I'll play it when we get to Yoshimura for sure. Actually, you know what? Let me just get it now. Let me just get it now. What's the Yoshimura quote that I'm looking up, Scarling? Thank you for the dono, by the way. Ghouls have to study humans in order to get by in everyday life. Mato studies ghouls in Tokyo for the love of the game, and of course, other reasons. Yeah, exactly. Why aren't ghouls an execution method? Messed up, but I bet they'd cut down on the killing of innocents, although Japan convicts people 90% of the time, so maybe not a good idea. I mean, yeah, if you're using the death penalty and stuff like that, definitely probably pretty handy. Yeah, you could keep them alive by just throwing them to, you know, the death penalty people. Scarling, what's the Yoshimura quote? You can't send a link in here, so if you could just tell me what to look up on YouTube. I don't know if I can play it because I might get copyright strike, but I might be able to listen to it, and even then it's unclear. Light, is it the life is evil, life draws us in the darkness, his final like big quote at the end? I'm assuming that's what you want me to. I'm going to assume that's what you want me to do. Hold
on. To take from another is tantamount to evil. From the moment we are born, we practice this art, perfecting the sin we've inherited. That's what life is, a continuous series of compounding sin. It is life itself that draws us into the darkness. I have accepted my fate. I know that I am evil, as are each and every one of you. Now, let's practice a different sin.
This quote would slap with Kanye AI. Truer words have never been spoken. Indeed. Rest in peace, or you know, whatever state he's in at the end of the series. I closed my music. You hate to see it. I just be closing windows sometimes, and sometimes it's not the smartest thing. Cool. All right. Bro said it takes one to know one. What up, Slasher? How we doing? What's up, Sir Julius? So, after all that glazing of the Dove's Emergence arc, we get into the Gourmet arc, which, to be honest with you, introduces one of the most interesting characters in the entire series, which is the Gourmet, otherwise known as, what's his name? Hold on. Tokyo Ghoul. Sukiyama? Sukiyama is an interesting character because when he's first introduced, he's introduced as just this connoisseur who loves plenty of different humans and finding the rarest meats he can. He's even a part of a whole ring of ghouls that like to find exotic meats and put them up against, you know, other literally like chemically engineered humans and torture them and then just serve them up as delicacies. And Sukiyama legitimately is a sick fuck in every sense of the word. Sukiyama is a disgusting weirdo in a way that's not even you know, not even in a fun way, not even in like a damn, like this guy's got aura. Like Sukiyama's like, damn, what is up with this guy? He keeps like later on in the series, he keeps like the rag of Kaneki to smell because he gets so obsessed with Kaneki. And what he does to Nishiki here just to fuck with him and fuck with his girlfriend, Sukiyama is just terrible. Sukiyama's a freak and just that's it. Sukiyama, top tier character. He's definitely well written. I'll give him that. I definitely give him the well-written mark for sure. He is a very believable psychopath in every sense of the word. However, I think the end of the gourmet arc kind of falls flat. The whole Nishiki and his girlfriend plot point, while beautiful, I genuinely do enjoy that aspect of it. Everything else is, the gourmet part of everything is really cool. I think it's a very fun arc to go through, and it shows the dark underside of the ghoul lifestyle that we've yet to really dive completely and wholeheartedly into. There are definitely a lot of secrets that we're left with by the end of the first half of this manga, but I think Tsukiyama and his introduction is, a major part of, just a scratch of the surface. So it's fun to go through that, but overall, I would enjoy the story of Mato and, Hinami and her mom. I enjoyed that much more, in my honest opinion. And speaking of arcs that I thought were, some of the most interesting in the series, that was definitely the Awagiri Tree 11th Ward. I gotta put that in S tier without a doubt. I mean, that was one of the best arcs in Tokyo Ghoul for sure, and it's the first real S tier arc in the series without a doubt. Because you have Kaneki getting tortured, which is one of the most crazy and insane things I think I've ever seen in a manga. In at least all my years of reading through it, watching him get broken down by Awagiri Tree's Jason was one of the most gut-wrenching and heart-aching things I think I've ever seen. And that moment when he actually snaps and becomes the ghoul and accepts that the dark side of him, and he changes forever and becomes, white-haired Kaneki, fucking kills Jason. That is one of the craziest things. The fact that he gets captured by Awagiri Tree as an organization we don't even know too much about until later on. I'm sure we'll find out more about them in Re. But it's a great introduction to them as an organization. They're fucking crazy people. We do see the owl for the first time. And, there's slight little hints that it's Yoshimura, which is really fun. His little fight with Shinohara and the other CCG investigators. Juzo even has his own little moment, and he gets his own personal Quinky after this. It's fun to see how the CCG acts when it comes to like a big operation like this. The anime actually sets the tone of this moment really well. Hey, that's why I want to check out the anime a little bit, not too much. But yeah, I think Awagiri Tree 11th Ward battle, and I think that was one of the most fun moments I genuinely had in the series when I was reading it. Like, this is when I was like, oh yeah, this was a fun arc. The first genuinely really good arc that I enjoyed, to be honest with you. I thought the fights were good in it. I thought Kaneki's character development was great. And I think Awagiri Tree is a very mysterious organization that I'm excited to learn more about, right? Now, the post-Awagiri Tree time skip arc is an interesting arc for all intents and purposes, just to see how the events of Awagiri Tree shaped Kaneki as a whole and turned him into essentially the leader of a gang of ghouls, which is kind of par for the course when it comes to what most ghouls are doing in the different wards. Most of them form a gang, at least the more powerful ones, instead of going on their own, power and numbers. And they do criminal gang shit. And in the time skip arc, I believe the main point of everything is to get more information on Dr. Kanao. Dr. Kanao is the doctor that changed Kaneki from a human into a ghoul. And Kaneki realizes that, honestly, all trails lead back to him. If I want to find out why he turned me into a ghoul, my best bet is to most likely go to the source. So he's finding information, while at the same time, there are multiple triple S rank ghouls that all are broken out from the underground prison that the CCG has, which means a lot of very dangerous ghouls have been added to Awagiri Tree's roster, which gives us a bunch of new fun people to encounter, including, I don't remember his name. Who's the fucking... I got it. Who's the guy with the large hair? I can't. I can't. I don't know who this guy is. And I'm not describing him well either. Large hair guy, Sama. Uta? No, not Uta. The long black hair dude who like fights without his shirt on. This is gonna bother me. He can't beat him. He loses every time, and it's why Kaneki keeps training. Nope. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Shachi? Yes, exactly. Matasaka Kamishiro. Yes. Exactly. That is who. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. And yeah, his introduction is interesting, and as he whoops Kaneki's ass and makes Kaneki rethink his whole strategy as a ghoul. Also, I remember like Kaneki and his gang got like the toughest fucking mixtape panel. But overall, it's a B tier. It's just a time skip, little transitionary arc, and we get that at the same time. Like we also get another one in the decision arc, which is just the in-between chapters between the raid on Canal's lab and owl suppression operation. So it's literally just dictating a like, you know, 10 or so chapters of what happens in between the major events. Because what happens right after the time skip is the raid on Dr. Canal's lab, which is where Kaneki gets all the information he needs, jumps into Canal's lab, and what ends up happening is Kaneki is not ready to face Shachi whatsoever, even though the rest of his gang, you know, fulfills their role. And the raid ends up becoming an all-out faction war between Awagiri Tree, who butts in. You know, Awagiri Tree and Dr. Canal are actually affiliated as far as we can tell. We don't really know too much about that connection yet, but we do know that they have something to do with everything. The CCG investigators also pinpointed Dr. Canal's lab and were, you know, assaulting the lab and fighting there. So there was a lot of different people. Juzo gets an awesome fight with the twin girls who were supposedly, you know, orphans of a ghoul attack that ended up becoming half ghoul themselves. So we get to see a little bit of Juzo's backstory, which is always very nice to see. Juzo ends up being one of my favorite characters by the end of everything. Also, in my honest opinion, this was another S tier arc. You have another great, crazy Kaneki breakdown phase where he becomes a fucking centipede, basically, and just starts eating hundreds of failed half-ghoul, half-human experiments, almost kills Shinohara, who's in his crazy big suit. Juzo, like I said, gets his really cool fight. Amon has his moment where he saves Akira. I genuinely really enjoyed the raid on Canal's lab, and that's really what I found out is the recipe for success in a Tokyo Ghoul arc. Make sure that Kaneki has a mental breakdown, and make sure Juzo and everyone else gets into a big fight. Amon and Kaneki also have their second encounter in this very moment, although Kaneki is in the worst state he's ever possibly been in. Unlike their final fight in Owl Suppression, where Kaneki is the most, you know, calm, cool, and collected as he's ever been, I would argue. Suffering does indeed build character. Very fun arc, not super important to the story, but it introduced many characters and had some great revelations. You mean the raid on Kanal's lab? I think the raid on Kanal's lab was super important. I mean, we found out Rize was still alive. That was a big drop in everything, you know, finding out that that Dr. Kanal was making, repeating or trying to make more of Kaneki with Rize's remains and letting her recharge fully to the point that, and also Yoshimura and Yomo interfering with everything and stealing Rize away. That's also, you know, it builds up Yoshimura as the quote-unquote leader of Awagiri Tree when we find out he's not actually the leader, it's the owl. And even though he is one of the owls, there are two owls that actually exist, and he is not the one that's the leader. And yeah, in between that is, like I said, the decision arc where Kaneki decides to try and disband his gang. He meets the author, his favorite author, who, you know, spoiler alert that we find out in the owl suppression arc, is the second owl and the leader of Awagiri Tree. Notices who Kaneki and Hinami are almost immediately, and, you know, is very interested in them, and gives off very ominous vibes. And yeah, Kaneki actually finally resolves to, you know what, say, I haven't been being myself. This drive to protect everyone is selfish, and I'm only hurting the people around me. I should disband the gang and return to Anteku, where I should be. Yoshimura explains his story of being the owl and falling in love with a human and having a baby with a human, even though it's said to be impossible. And that baby is the very first half human, half ghoul in the series, which we find out in Owl Suppression is, you know, what's the author's name? Eto Yoshimura. Exactly. I don't know what her pen name is. Sen Tatsuki. Her pen name might be different, but yeah. As far as it goes, honestly, I'll give this one an A, because the reason why I would put the Disband Club decision arc above like something like Post Awagiri Tree Introduction. Actually, and I would probably arrange it like this. The reason why I would probably do that, right, is because the development from Kaneki, the story of Yoshimura, and the development of the two different owls, it's very enjoyable. And also his dynamic with Toka wanting Kaneki back, and Toka beating the shit out of Kaneki basically to return him. Yeah, genuinely was a good time, and the character interactions meant a lot more to me in this transition phase than they meant to me in the post Awagiri Tree time skip phase. As well as you have, you know, the whole thing going on with Amon and Akira. So, you know, the CCG also has their own, you know, side of everything as well. Hideyoshi joins the CCG, all that stuff. And we have the final arc of regular Tokyo Ghoul, which I would have to say is definitely an S tier, without a doubt as well. Would I put it above Awagiri Tree 11th Ward? I probably would. I think it was such a perfect finale for everything. I think it was such a perfect finale for Tokyo Ghoul. The first half, and to know that there's still so much to get into with all of these unanswered questions that I have with Kanao, with of course Eito being Yoshimura's daughter, Yoshimura apparently being the new subject that they're going to be putting all these experiments into. I mean, wow, right? It really gave you not only a lot to look after, but you have Juzo's moment, you know, fighting Yoshimura, and then Juzo gets his leg chopped off, and then the real owl shows up and almost kills Shinohara, cuts off his leg so they're a perfect match, and basically makes Shinohara brain dead. Like, it's insane. You have the you know, the black ape or the ape of death, whatever his clown ass is, he's actually a badass fucking ghoul. And then the girl as well was another badass ghoul, and they give their lives fighting the other CCG ward leaders, and I thought that was cool. Amon has his final confrontation with Kaneki, and Amon completely wields his Quinky like a boss to have like a Lancelot costume armor thing going on. Insane. And just, yeah, the appearance of the true owl slaughtering almost everyone. Crazy. Kaneki taking down all of the threats that nobody else could, only to fucking fall to, what's the top CCG investigator? Is it Arima? Arima, yeah. The #1 fucking ghoul investigator does show off what he knows by instantly fucking perception blitzing and one-shotting Kaneki, no fucking problem at all. And Kaneki's moment where we think he eats Hide, we don't know what exactly happened, we're left in the dark, and we won't find out, I guess, until Re. I mean... yeah, I really enjoyed Owl Suppression. Yeah, I think I really enjoyed Owl Suppression, and I think these are probably my top 3 arcs for sure. I would even probably put Raid on Canal's Lab above Awagiri Tree 11th Ward. And yeah, I think these are my 3 favorites. These are my 2 A's, and these are my B's, and Nishiki would probably be my least favorite arc. Amon was literally a walking berserk reference, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to get into Re and see what all of these different arcs are about. The dove that wears the coat that covers his face was such an asshole. Yeah, dickhead. I mean, you see that brings up why I love Dove's emergence so much, because it shows that where the black dog ghoul was willing to sacrifice her life to save the old lady from the blast, the leader of that ghoul sector was literally willing to shoot the blast at the old lady and kill them both to get the kill. So, yeah. Crazy. Dickhead. But yeah, those are my rankings on the Tokyo Ghoul arcs. Owl Suppression is definitely my favorite. Probably a cop-out because it is the finale. But yeah, my other favorite arcs are the Raid and the Awagiri 11th Ward. But if I didn't have to be, you know, a bandwagoner and pick the best arcs in that part of the series, I'd say Dove's Emergence or Decision arc, Disband the Club arc. Overall rating for part 1. I wouldn't be able to. I don't know if I would be able to give that to you right now, honestly. I don't know if I would be able to give that to you right now. Maybe a 6.5, a 7? A 7, 7.5? 7, 7.5, probably. Probably a 7. I think a 7 is the best, is the best I could go. Part 1 is slow, but the second half really gets it going. Agreed, for sure. I feel that there is a lot to unpack, definitely. While it was a little slow for me, and I think a lot of the characters may not have hit as hard as some of them may hit for other people. I did enjoy the series. I thought it was fun. I'm excited to see how Re puts a bow on everything, and I'm sure I'll enjoy Re a lot more going into it. I think a lot of the fights were cool, a lot of the character dynamics, and I think, yeah, Mario really hit the ball on the head where, like, you know, the second half of part 1 definitely kicks off way more than the first half. The first half is definitely a little slow, but once you hit Awagiri Tree 11th Ward, everything changes from that moment on. Time skip is a little slow, but then you really get into just the cream of the crop, some of the best arcs that the series has to offer, at least in the first half of Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah. So yeah, I would give part 1 a 7 out of 10 for right now. That may change in the future. But Ishida's choreography was not great in Tokyo Ghoul. I can admit that. I could say, you know, but the artwork is immense. It's beautiful. Art is amazing. But all right, guys, let's not waste any more time. We've already went through about 52 minutes or so. So let's go ahead. It's time to rank the different characters that we have to offer. These are all of the characters in Tokyo Ghoul's manga. Are some of them even memorable at all? Will I even know who they are? We will see. Some of them I may instantly forget. Some of them may be more valid than others. We'll never know. Oh, also let me add it. Let me add a tier actually. Yeah, add the no idea who category. Scarlet, thank you for the 5. What about the raw art? Kaneki self-cannibalizing, Takizawa's will before the war, Kaneki post-Yamori. Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely full-heartedly believe the art in Tokyo Ghoul, especially towards the end, was some of the best art I've seen in a series in a long time. Like, amazing. Sui Ishida is great. One of the better artists doing it for real. That being said, here we go. Let's get into it, guys. First character, we have Akira Mato. The daughter of Mato, what's Kasuka? Is that his name? Or is it Koreo? Koreo. Kasuka was his wife, probably. Koreo Mato. First class ghoul investigator and Katara Amon's former partner and mentor. Yeah, sick fuck. To think that he was able to actually find a woman, get laid, have a daughter. Insane. Absolutely insane. But I guess all CCG, it must run in the family for sure, right? He's basically well known for his obsession of all the different Quinkies. He loves making different Quinkies. He loves, you know, slaughtering ghouls, as many of them as he possibly can. It's what he lives for. It's what he dreams about. And he has no worries, you know, killing a mom and daughter as long as they're ghouls. Now, Akira is definitely an interesting character. She has adopted some of her father's very serious, very quirky traits of just being a unique individual in general. And yeah, I think Akira Mato is a fun character, seeing how her father's death and her mother's death have attributed to her trauma and the way that she holds herself and how she tries her best to be proper and be the daughter that her father would have wanted, but also at the exact same time, you know, when she gets drunk and she's talking to Amon and the other investigator that they're with, Takezu, I think. I might be getting his name wrong. When she's wasted, we get a great character moment with her and Amon, and at the end of the day, as much as she disrespects him and blames him for her father's death, she starts to fall for him. And to the point that Amon rejects her kiss at the end of the series. And she has to deal with the fact that he died, and she can be seen shedding tears at the end of the series, which is very, very terrible. Very sad. And I think overall, compared to some of the other characters, I like Akira. If I had to put her in a box, it'd probably be like a very high B, honestly, but as of right now, we'll put her in A, and we'll see what happens to the other characters as we go forward. You know, some characters may cause her to drop down, but right now we'll put her in A because she's, of all the characters on the list, you know, she's definitely one of the better characters, for sure. Need to see more of her, indeed. Excited to see what kind of role she plays in Re. That being said, we've got motherfucking Amon Kotaro, definitely an S tier character if I've ever seen one in Tokyo Ghoul sense as far as perspective goes. Amon's contrast to Kaneki is always fun to see, the 3 different times that they encounter themselves and how much Kaneki makes Amon question himself. Because unlike Mato, who I kind of talked a little bit about already, Mato being a sick fuck and setting the standard in the Dove's Emergence arc of being someone who is self-righteous in the need to accomplish their goal. I mean, even Amon in the Dove's Emergence arc is willing to literally dig up a skull to complete an investigation. So let's not, you know, shy him away from that kind of craziness either. Seeing the difference is insane, and seeing also how Amon kind of struggles with it, seeing Kaneki, who he kind of has an inkling maybe more than just a regular ghoul. Seeing his interactions with Akira, Mato's daughter, especially after knowing Mato died, I very much enjoyed. Every time Amon is fighting, I think it's cool. He's a fucking brick shit house, and he's got that giant hammer to the point that it evolves into the Lancelot, you know, costume. Awesome. Got to give Amon an S tier character if there is one in Tokyo Ghoul completely. Arima, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put in the no idea who rank for right now. I can't exactly rank him. He only really showed up towards the very end, and at the very least has been nothing but glazed up beyond oblivion, and I don't want to rank him in a tier just based off of what other characters have said about him. He seems like a very quiet, very shy little white-haired fucking top-tier agent boy, and he kills Kaneki in one shot. He's got pure aura, but I don't want to rank him off pure aura alone. I know Arima will probably play a much bigger role in Re, so I'm going to hold off on ranking his character until we get into Re, and I think that's fair. I know he's the strongest, but as far as a character, I know nothing about him. He was able to fight off the owl, Yoshimura, you know, Eto Yoshimura, sorry. So as of right now, we'll hold off. I think I'm also going to have to hold off on this woman as well, because I think she appears in the very last chapter. She's one of the, like, very top tier CCG in, like, the board of directors or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. She's, like, one of the special investigators we're introduced to at the very, very, very end. So I don't even think we can really even rate her either. That being said, I don't know who this person is. Who's this person? The person next to Mato. Is this just some fodder person that gets cooked? It's probably someone with an A, I think, I would imagine, right? Maybe not. Isn't that Roma? Are they supposed to be here? Might be in part 2. Does this list have only characters from part 1 or both? I think it's characters from, yeah, all characters before Re. So it's only part 1. So I don't know. No idea who. That's that. That's that. We don't know who that is. That's fine. Now, Koreo Mato, I might catch flack for, but I think he'll probably go to top of B, maybe A. But I think I like his daughter more just because we spend a little bit more time with her. We don't get to spend too much time with Mato, although he, you know what? We'll give him an A. He's a great character. Who the hell am I kidding? Mato is a great character. He's fun while he lasts. You know, he leaves an impression to the point that his impact on the story can be felt all the way to the end of the series. I think, yeah, he's definitely an A-tier character. I wouldn't put him on the same level as someone like Amon, but yeah, no, I would definitely put money on Mato being an A tier, just because, again, he's fun while he's on screen. He's a psychopath, and he sets a standard that a lot of the CCG investigators are not able to keep up with after his absence. To be completely honest with you. That being said, I don't know who this is. We're off to a great start with all of these. I don't know who they are. They really went all out when they said they're getting everyone. I remember him. He's in the finale. He's one of the major ward leaders, right? And he gets into a fight with Kaneki. He's got the two different Quinkies. I remember him. You know, he can go and see. He's an okay character, but you know, he's more of a caricature than a character, I should say. I don't know who she is. No idea. We're already off to a great start. 4 people in the no idea. Although, you know what? Let me separate. Let me separate. This guy, who the hell is this guy? No idea. No idea who at all. Now we are getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. Sato Takizawa. I just looked up his name and I think I got spoiled, but that's okay. Sato Takizawa is a fun character. He dies at the end of the series, and his death is so fucking sad, to say the least. It's like, it's so terrible to see him try and write his fucking his will, and he can barely do it, and he just writes, "I don't want to die," and he's literally never once been in battle, and he talks a big game to Akira about, you know, I would save plenty of people from ghouls, and then he gets on the battlefield one time and gets cooked by Awagiri Tree in one of the worst, you know, just saddest ways. Same with Amon. So it's oof. He's one of the better characters for sure, although I wouldn't put him on the same level as, like, Akira or Mato, you know? I just wouldn't. I don't know who this is. They really added everyone here, didn't they? They really added everyone here. I don't know who this is. Cochlea Warden, dude. Yeah, Shinmei Hasaki was the warden of Cochlea. He was promoted to deputy warden to warden. Formerly, he was an interrogator. Ah, okay. So he is, he's one of the new people that they introduced towards the very end. Yeah, can't rank. This guy's part of Arima's squad. No idea who. Now you have the old dude. Yes. Tsunayoshi Washu, who is the old dude. We don't know too much about him, so we can't rank him either. I guess they put all of the new characters we get introduced to at the very end, because that's what it's seeming like. No idea who this guy is. No idea who. This guy we do get a little bit of introduction with, but I feel like I can barely rank him. He hasn't even been in the story for that long. He shows up at the very end to lead the charge, and we get like 5 to 10 lines with him. I can't even rank him. Boy, guys, this is a lot of fun. Another Washu. Next up, we have Shinohara. Shinohara, A-tier character. He's not an S-tier, but he earns a special place in my heart, very similar to Mato. His love for Juzo is fucking awesome, and honestly, when he first started appearing in the couple of fights that he was in, like in the 11th Ward battle, and when he fights Yoshimura's Owl, I was kind of like, man, this guy's kind of whatever. Who cares? Get him out of here with his, self-wearing Quinky and everything. And then he appears in the raid on Kanal's lab, and you're kind of same thing, right? I'm like, whatever, Shinohara, just NPC. He's gonna die at a Kaneki right here, and he survives. And then you find out how much he loves Juzo and how much he does for Juzo, and you're just like, yeah, you know what? Shinohara is a goat. We love Shinohara. This guy, leader of the third section of the special Owl investigation unit. Fuck this guy. I don't know what his name is. I don't need to know what his name is. Spit in his face. Piece of shit. Edgy Okarun. Yeah, that's about as close as we're gonna get, right? Genuinely speaking, this guy is a dirtbag. He couldn't even accomplish his job against the Ghoul to the point that he had to risk some old lady, and the Ghoul had to do his job of protecting humanity for him. So he failed as a CCG investigator, and he failed as a character, in my honest opinion. Peace out. A-Town. Who's this guy? This Jamoke. Who even is this guy? They really said, let me add everyone I possibly can here. No idea who. Who's this guy? No idea who. Who's this guy? No idea who. Insane to me. Oh, he makes the Quinkies? Oh, that's the scientist dude. That's the scientist guy. Oh, that's why. It's because they used the anime version. I was so confused. No, he is the he's the Quinky director. I remember him. You're so right. He gets put in C. He's not as bad as Pisshead over here. Hide is a great character. We love Hide. We love Hideyoshi. We can't get enough of Hideyoshi. The dude with Freddy Krueger's thigh skin for a face is Juzo's teacher, and I think he tortured Jason. Is that in like a one-shot or something? Who the hell? I don't even remember seeing this dude. Literally learn everything without reading the manga. What a G. Huh. So true. Yeah, no idea who tier as far as I'm concerned. Who the fuck is this guy? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Is this Dr. Canal? Is that who this is supposed to be? He looks like Bruce fucking Wayne. Definitely not Dr. Canal. Who the hell is this guy? I'm losing my mind over some of these fucking characters here. Who are these people? And this is kind of what I mean, genuinely speaking. In regards to like why I would rank Tokyo Ghoul in like a 7 or like a, you know, even like a 6.5, like a high 6, is because, to be honest with you, a lot of these fucking characters are forgettable. Great designs, they're beautiful art, and they're, you know, amazing, you know, presentation. When it comes to me even remembering their names, meh. I couldn't even begin to tell you. This might be some filler character, and and again, I'm not using him as a specific example, but like, I don't know. Some of these guys just didn't hit. The one with the scars, well, I don't know who that is. Definitely, I don't know who the Born Marshal. I don't know who this guy is either. Bruce Wayne looking guy over here. I don't know who this guy is with the glasses. I know Marood. I know him. Marood's a fucking Weasley little swine. He can go right next to the fucking Quinky director. Quinky director is definitely better, but Marood sucks. Honestly, could Marood go into F? He could teeter. Honestly, he could teeter, but I don't think he's as deplorable as this guy. Isn't he the one that made Yamori into a sadistic monster? Who Yamori Jason? Maybe is that the original Jason dude? The original person that turned is that the who tortured him? Gomasa Tokage. Oh yeah, it is. That is the guy who tortured him. Yeah, again, proper tier in my honest opinion. Who the fuck is that guy? Marood is kind of funny. Yeah, that's why he gets to go into C. We'll let him in C because he's goofy. I don't even know who this doctor guy is. I don't know who this glasses guy is, to be completely honest with you. This guy is forgettable. I know who he is, but he's very forgettable. He loses his arm. You know what? He's Shinohara's partner, so we'll give him a C tier for that. But you know what? Honestly, I can't do that. I really can't, because at least Marood has some level of personality. This guy, it's just this is, yeah. Do we give Marood really a B? He's more of a character than these fucking guys are. But then, would I put him on the same level as Takezu? Or whatever his name is? Honestly, let's be real here. Marood is actually a real one? Well, I guess I just haven't gotten to that part yet. Every time Juzo takes his bike, I think it's hilarious, though. He kind of made use of Hide, I guess. Sure. But you know what? Let's just be real here. The real person we're all here for is fucking Juzo. We love Juzo. Beautiful human being. Juzo can do no wrong. They're literally perfect. They are a victim of terrible circumstances, and we take Juzo out for ice cream every single day of the week because we love him. His backstory is one of the most insane backstories I think I've read in a long fucking time. And seeing everything he had to go through and him still get framed when he was going through the orphanage and just that Shinohara was the only person that was willing to look out for him. Oh yeah, and I'm excited to see how Juzo evolves going forward in the rest of the series, because yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be a badass going forward. And then we have this gentleman who, you know what? Don't know who he is. Couldn't even begin to tell you. Up next, we've got woman here. Couldn't even begin to tell you who that is. Couldn't even begin to tell you who that is. Is this Dr. Canal? Is that Yori? Who the fuck is Yori? Kuki Yori? He doesn't even appear in... what? I don't think this person appears until Re. Manga debut Re Chapter 1. So definitely not. No, there are no Re characters on this list. Yeah. So many I don't know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Who the fuck are these characters? Who the fuck are these characters? Is this Dr. Canal? I'm going to have to imagine that this is Dr. Canal, right? No? Or no, it doesn't look like him. Is that Canal? I'm just going to assume it is Canal, and if that's the case, maybe the photos from when he was younger, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And if that's the case, then I can't rank Canal, because literally I don't know anything about him as far as it goes in the beginning of the series, simply because he is a mysterious figure throughout the entire 140-something chapters. We see him in one small moment where he kind of taunts Kaneki. He's been using Rize for all of his plans, and I literally can't rank him until we see the rest of the series, honestly. Genuinely cannot. Don't know who the fuck this is. This the dude that is this the dude who's on the radio shows and the TV shows talking about ghouls and everything like that? He's the one that's on TV talking about the differences of ghouls and humans at the very beginning of the story, right? I don't even know. That one goes on TVs and speaks of the ghouls. Yeah, exactly. But what else does he do? F. I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's important. Maybe I should just put him in no idea who. I mean, like, we know who he is. He doesn't do anything exciting. Maybe he's important in Re, but nothing. Oh, great. Is that Hinami? I think that's Hinami, right? Am I mistaken? If that's Hinami, honestly, Hinami, the Dove's emergence arc was great. Hinami has, you know, a great character development in that time, but after that, she literally is just nothing. She literally is just, you know, One-chan this, One-chan that, just that kind of character. That's Re Hinami. Oh, just a picture of Re Hinami. Yeah, just does nothing after Dove's emergence arc, so I really can't give her anything higher than a C, unfortunately. I just can't. I don't know who this is. No idea who that is. No idea who this is. This is the dude that Kaneki fights in the Gourmet arc. I guess we can give him an F. Oh, is that Kaneki's mom? I thought that was Kaneki's mom. You know, she tried. We'll give her a C too. She tried. Just wanted to stop by and say that I love your content. Always have it on the background while I work. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I love to hear that. Wish you the best. Thank you. Then you've got, I don't know who's this. Oh, is that Yoshimura's wife? Honestly, you know what? Gotta give Yoshimura's wife a C rank as well, because she was a real one. Honestly, she deserves her own ranking for just being a real wife. He said, babe, you're not gonna be able to have that kid. You're gonna have to eat human meat, and you're not gonna want to do that. And then he turned around and she was already fucking knee deep in that human shit. She did that shit. She said, I'm having that baby. You know what? Dedication. So gotta give it to her there for sure. Gotta give it to her there. I think this is Toka's friend. Yeah, I mean, we could just put them in no idea who. She was a genuine hero in the story. Yeah, that was a Chainsaw Man mother right there, for real. Toka's friend. I mean, who is Toka's friend? What do we know about her? Who is she? What up, Loud? How we doing? Is this old lady supposed to be important? Or old man, whoever the fuck this is. I don't even know who this is. Am I supposed to know who it is? Because I don't. That's Amon's father. He's in Cochlea. Oh, that's his fucking, that's the priest bitch. The priest guy. Priest is an interesting character. We can give him C. I would honestly, even, you know what? I would say his backstory, you know what? Let me put, honestly, she gets B tier, and so does, and so does he. Their backstories. Well, you know what? Nah, we'll give. I just don't feel comfortable putting them on the same tier. She's got to be top of C, if anything. She's got to be top of C, if anything. He's got to be pretty high up there. You know what? We do need a D. I think we do need a D, honestly. We have so many fucking tiers. I think we do need a D. I didn't want to do a D because I thought it was pointless, but apparently not. Okay. Why is the professor an F tier? What the fuck does the professor do besides make Quinkies? Tell me. Tell me. What do you like about him as a character? Now. What's her name? She is SSS tier, if that's who it is. What's her name? What's up, Blunt? How we doing? He's interesting and gives good knowledge on ghouls, and he does play a bigger part in part 2. I haven't read part 2. This is only in regards to part 1, so I can't unfortunately rank him anything higher yet, but maybe later. Itori, thank you. Yeah, Itori, you know, she's definitely an interesting character. I would probably put her much higher than a lot of the other people here. You know, I mean, also, not for nothing, hear me out, but I'm sure she will play a much larger role in part 2, for sure, with the reveal at the end of part 1 that she's gonna that she's a clown. I really am interested to see more of her, because if that's the case, then she's just been fucking playing fucking Kaneki and everything around him like a fool. Same with Uta, which is just, she's my new Nagi Yoshino. I mean, they do look very similar. Got to give it to them. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, she's, you know, she's fun to look at, that's for sure. But other than that, that's really all I can give her. As of right now, and I think her personality and the things that she brings to the table and all the information that she has and how she's not willing to just release her information to Kaneki without getting something in return. You know, she's clearly a smart character, and to the fact that, you know, her and Uta clearly have more of an important role to play, we'll give her a B for now, and she'll probably raise going forward. I have a type and it's jaded women who like to drink. Feel you. And then we have, I forget his name. It starts with an N, right? Nico, right? So, okay. Here's my thoughts on Nico. I don't know. I'm still waiting for maybe, I think maybe, you know, I'm still waiting for that turnaround, in part 2, I guess, when, Ishida makes all of the previous homophobia and everything that's in part 1 makes sense for this big progressive turnaround that he's going to have in part 2. Personally, as far as it goes, I know Nico plays importance in a lot of different story beats. The fact that you know, he's a clown, you know, means that he's going to play a much larger role in things going forward as well. But other than that, I mean, I really don't know what else you really want me to say about Nico. I've got nothing to say, honestly. I hate him. I really do. I just wish he wasn't there. Because just yeah, the way Ishida really represents Nico, I don't think is the best, in my honest opinion. But, you know, what are you going to do? Moving forward, I don't know who that is. I think she's supposed to be important. I don't remember who she is. Nico was a victim of the writer, SMH. Oh, yeah. Full-heartedly. 110%. The clown that killed Rize, I cannot rank, because not only do I not know who that clown is, I'm sure we'll find out about that in part 2. Roma. Oh, yeah, that's right. She is a person in Anteku, and I just spoiled myself even more trying to look her name up. So that's like 2-3 spoils this tier list. Let's go, baby. We're on a roll. All of Re is going to be ruined by the end of this. What else? We've got Uta, Uta, cool dude. Uta, we can give Uta a B. We can put him right next to Itori for sure. Their clown agenda, we don't know too much about yet, but Uta's a cool guy. He's got a really great design. His backstory with Yomo was interesting, but again, I'm sure he'll have a much larger role to play with the clowns in Ri. I enjoyed Uta, you know, the mask wearing and the entire idea of ghouls having to wear a mask is very fun. And it makes sense now that, you know, the one who makes all of the ghoul masks would be a member of the clowns who all wear clown masks. It just makes sense. Just go to the ones you know by looking at them, and after chat can tell who is who without spoilers if anyone remembers them. Yeah, probably. Here you have the 3 people that defect from Awagiri Tree with Banjo. Honestly, not for nothing. Sure, all great people. They're not developed whatsoever. They don't have characters at all. I mean, they say words, but who are they as people really? They need more screen time for sure. They need dynamic personalities. They could all be the same person. Banjo, that being said, is a great character. I do enjoy Banjo as a whole, and I would put him in an A tier. I love his entire arc of being weak yet wanting to be strong. Being able to be Kaneki's shield and just not being afraid of anything, even though he's genuinely just a weak character. I do love his arc that he has with Rize. I think he's a fun character to have in the story, and I do enjoy his presence more than a lot of other characters that may exist here. I knew you would like him. Very transparent with Kaneki. Exactly. You know, he's a real dude, you know. I can't say anything bad about him. He's an honest guy, and I appreciate it. You know, for a ghoul, he's all right. Next up, we've got the ape. We've got the ape, who honestly, he comes up pretty cool. At the very end of the Tokyo Ghoul finale. If it wasn't for the Tokyo Ghoul finale and his showings as like an insanely strong ghoul, and that he wasn't just talking out of his ass the entire fucking part 1, that was fun to see. His final stand with his gang members against the CCG for Anteku was great. It really redeemed him as a character in my eyes, because if it wasn't for that, then he probably would have been down in the F tier, because as just a joke character. But no, his final moments were great. His final battle was great, and I do appreciate him and Black Dog Girl, excuse me, being revealed to be awesome characters that Yoshimura converted into being great ghouls. I do not know who this is. I'll be honest with you. I just don't know who this is. Dog Girl is also C. Who's Dog Girl? Is this Dog Girl? Or you're talking about Black Dog? Black Dog. Yeah, no, I'm willing to put them both, you know, pretty high up there. Honestly, you know what? I liked her ending a little bit more than the apes. Black Dober, yeah. I think she went out a little bit cooler, and I appreciated her character a little bit more. I'll give her that little bit of glaze up to get up to B. Bottom of B. That's Nishio's girlfriend? Oh, yeah, right. Haha, yeah. Anyway. You know what? Let's be honest. The characters who we know who they are, but have accomplished nothing, F tier. This is generally for characters who we generally like. Who are you? Who are you? And if we do know who you are, You're so forgettable. You're nothing. Don't like who? Don't like who? Nishio's girlfriend? What is Nishio's girlfriend done? I guess sure she stood by him. She can go up to D. She accepted him as a ghoul. What else has she done? I don't remember anything about her. What did I mean, she got captured. Is she a real one? I guess. I don't know. See, the difference between, like, a character, like, I gave Banjo A for being a real one, but Banjo has, like, meaningful character interactions with Kaneki, with Tsukuyama, all the other characters. And then you've got Nishio, or Nishiki's girlfriend, and it's like, yeah, great, they get along well together, and she stood by him even though he's a ghoul. Okay. She gave him food after Kaneki fucked him up. Whatever. Forgettable. She gets a D tier for not being for being Nishiki's girlfriend. Up next, we've got 4 different fucking forms of Kaneki, so I think we can just use the most notable form of Kaneki. And Kaneki, do I gotta give Kaneki? Honestly, controversial take, hot take, spicy hot take. Kaneki goes top of A. I don't think Kaneki is an S tier. Kaneki's greatest development are his torture scenes. And other than that, nah. I think Juzo and Amon are more thrilling characters, and they have a lot more depth and layers. Kaneki, and the fact that he's losing his mind slowly, trying to protect people while also juggling the craziness of being a ghoul. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy him as a character. I wouldn't have it any other way. But would I say that Kaneki moves me in a way that a character like Juzo did or a character like Amon did? No, probably not. Kaneki not there for me yet. Exactly. Maybe in after Re, I will feel differently, and I'll give Kaneki the S tier that he deserves as a true main character. But as of right now, I think top of A is the best I can really give Kaneki. His character arc isn't complete yet, to be honest with you, and the place that he's in currently by the end of part 1 hasn't given me any reason to consider him an S tier character. I do enjoy everything that he's gone through, and I've been loving him as a main character, and I enjoy his struggle, and I'm excited to see where he goes going forward. I know he's not done. But yeah, it's just Kaneki just hasn't moved me yet. He hasn't hit me with that moment yet where I'm like, yeah, this is my guy. So yeah, until then, we're gonna move on. Up next, we've got Yoshimura, another A tier character, honestly. He might even be an S tier character himself. See, it's Yoshimura is in between. I think he definitely eclipses Kaneki as top of A. Yoshimura is an awesome character. As we saw his speech that Scarling had us watch, his final moments as the owl, giving everything he has to fight for Anteku and what he's, built, the amount of things that he's done to try and keep ghouls from regressing into these evil monsters and keeping their humanity alive. Honestly, no, Yoshimura S tier character. I gotta give Yoshimura an S tier character. The way he paved the divide between ghouls like Awagiri and the other ghouls, his backstory with his wife, and I gotta give Yoshimura the S. Standing on business indeed. Standing on business indeed. Gotta give him an S. I have to. The amount of effort that this man has put in to make a good place for ghouls in the 20th Ward. A place where ghouls don't have to kill to survive and can try their best to live normal lives. He forces Toka to go to school and tries to get others to live normal lives as well and live their best lives as like a real, you know, community father. Yoshimura is great. He didn't deserve getting beat down by his daughter. And I would have to say Yoshimura moved me in a way that Kaneki could not. Next up, we have Nishiki. He gave Abe's and Dobers a second chance too. Exactly. Nishiki, I hate Nishiki, honestly. Nishiki is an annoying character to me. I think everything about Nishiki's personality is frustrating and grating. I don't enjoy him being on screen. I think he has genuinely just no redeeming qualities whatsoever. He is just a brat. All he does is complain and yell and just be an asshole to people. He's an asshole from the beginning. He stands down for his girlfriend and protects her, but other than fucking that, I mean, D tier for me. His backstory was good though. Oh, with his sister. His sister, trying to... He's the perfect depiction of a ghoul's life. Sure. I guess you're not wrong. I did talk about that in his introduction and his major story arc, but, like, overall, as a character, like, when I look at people like Marud and the Devil Ape and, like, Hinami and, like, and I look at Uta and Itori, I'm like, no, like, I think you belong down with Nico, Nishiki. Annoying. Not a fan. Not a fan of Nishiki whatsoever. Who is this? Am I supposed to know who this is? That's not Rize, is it? I'm pretty sure this is Rize. I don't think this is Rize. But he's like that because of the life to begin with. He's a nice guy before losing his sis and after meeting Kimmy. Meh. That's Hinami's mom. Oh. C tier, you can go right next to your daughter. You go above Nishiki because your character arc was sad. It was sad to watch you die. Tomato, your butterfly wings were awesome. And yeah. Sad to see you go to Mado, but you can go right next to your daughter. Your whole entire arc was 10 times better than anything Nishiki could ever bring to the table. Next up is Sukuyama, and I will say B tier. Sukuyama doesn't move me. Sukuyama has never really, in my opinion, shown to have aura. He seems very obnoxious. Same with Nishiki. I'm just not... His type of character doesn't really connect with me. Sukuyama over Nishio? Yeah, Sukuyama over Nishiki all day, every day. He's at least a more fun character to watch on screen. But other than that, his personality kind of... Nishiki annoys me more than Sukuyama does. Sukuyama also has much more bearing on the story. He's just not a fun psychopath to watch on screen. He's a more enjoyable character than Nishiki, and when he's on screen, I don't hate every panel that he's in. But Nishiki, every time we go to Nishiki, I'm like, why do we have to focus on this character? Why couldn't he just stay, in the background? Yeah, I'm a hater. It is what it is. a big time hater. Toka, amazing character. You can go right next to Kaneki in A tier. We love you, Toka. Your struggle to be a high school student is commendable. My only complaint is that she is like completely absent from the second half of the story, and I'm not a fan of that. I did enjoy her rabbit arc where she was kind of a loose cannon, helping Kaneki get used to the life of a ghoul. Funny because you said Nishiki's name more than any other name tonight. Hey, you remember the people you hate. Toka deserves praise for being a real one with her family every single chance she gets. Super true. Her dynamic with her brother was super duper sad to see. Her homophobic ass brother. Fuck her brother. I'm glad that Kaneki broke half of his body. And her backstory with her father and family was just terrible. Yeah, Toka really has had it rough, and the fact that Yoshimura was able to turn her around and do his best to keep her, out of harm's way is great. I think that she'd probably be higher for me if she had more of an impact on the second half of the story, though. But maybe that will change in Re. I think she has the potential to be S, but she hasn't, because she's absent for half the story, she's missing that for me. Like, watching her, train with Kaneki, with Yomo, that was fun. Like, yeah. We need more Toka. That being said, we've got Yomo, who I can't really give anything higher than a B, because, again, he's so mysterious. He's always working in the background. His backstory with Uta is fun. Definitely gives a little bit more context to Yomo as a character. But when it comes down to it, I really don't know anything about this guy. We need to see more of him before I'm able to give him a higher rank. He's always working in the background. The fact that he is basically Yoshimura's dog, lapdog, just doing all of the dirty work, collecting all of the unalive meat for the food source for all of the Anteku ghouls, being aware of Yoshimura's true identity and always working alongside of him. He's definitely an important character that I would like to see more of, but until then I can really only give him a B because he's just too mysterious. That may work for the girls that he's rizzing, but it does not work for me when I'm ranking him as a character. The face of stoicism, so true. Speaking of Toka's brother, we have the piece of shit bigot right here. And I have to say, same here. Toka's brother is a D for me. Toka's brother is just an asshole. And not an asshole that's fun to watch on screen. Like let me compare you. Let me make this make sense in a way that if you've seen Game of Thrones, Ramsay Bolton, Joffrey Baratheon, awful, terrible, evil, irredeemable pieces of shit that I would never condone in real life ever. But when they're on screen, they capture that scene. They steal the show. They've got charisma. They've got aura. They're fucking like, it's like, oh my God, you love to see this person be evil. This guy is he just sucks. Could be completely honest with you. He doesn't have any aura whatsoever. He gives off more of a brat energy. He reminds me of why I don't like Shido. Genuinely. Shido Rusei in Blue Lock. I feel like he's just a brat. Like, I just wouldn't fuck with this guy. Like, at least Shido does cool things. I don't think this guy does a single cool thing in his story besides say the F slur like fucking 20 times. Like, I'm not going to give him an F because he does generally have a character, and these people don't have characters. Or if they do, they're just just awful. But yeah, I can't give Toka's brother an F, but I can't give him anything higher than a D. And I think that's something that I've noticed when it comes to Suishida. And it's that when he draws and goes for making a character evil and making them irredeemable or making them an asshole, I've noticed that instead of crafting a fun to watch villain or a villain with charisma or like a Naoya type asshole, or again, like I said, Ramsay Bolton, Joffrey Baratheon, other series, even Hunter x Hunter Hisoka, it's fun to watch him be terrible. Yeah, he's just making a legit unlikable, awful person that ultimately, sure, yeah, probably fits the bill of being a villain, but there's nothing I like about this villain. He is just a dickhead. There's nothing to like. He doesn't have any aura. He doesn't have any charisma. He sucks. I feel the same way about Nishiki. Sukuyama, I even feel the same way about a little bit, but he's less because he does have more of a personality. He's unique in his story, but like for a character that has like Hisoka-esque qualities, like he just misses the mark, you know what I mean, a little bit. He's just not, he's missing that oomph, he's missing that likability. Next up, we've got Eito Yoshimura. We've got the true owl, the true one-eyed owl, and the king of Awagiri. I can't rank her. I can't rank her because she really, we haven't seen much of her besides being purely mysterious. We don't know what her motives are. We don't know what the reason for what she's doing is. We don't know why she killed her dad. We know she's a sadistic freak when it comes to her ghoul form and the kind of damage that she was able to do to the CCG, the top echelon of the CCG, I remind you. And the reveal that she's this author that was able to be, you know, a famous author in real life. She's Yoshimura's daughter, the original one-eyed ghoul. There's so many different things revolving around her, but I cannot rank her because I don't know anything about her. After part 2, I'm sure I'll be able to give her hopefully an S tier. I'm sure I will see so much about it. But at least until then, I can't really in earnest or in honesty rank her. When you read part 2, she might be one of your favorites. She has that Hisoka vibe. Hey, I love to hear that. I'm excited to. I'm excited to see that. I don't know who this is. I think it's one of the gourmet guards or people. No idea who. These are the Awagiri tree, the brothers that are guarding Kaneki and Banjo and the prisoners. They're literally nothing burgers. They have no personalities whatsoever. They're literally just enemies that are just standing in Kaneki and Banjo's way and help Jason catch Kaneki and set Kaneki up. Remember the guy is obsessed with Jason? Oh, I don't know. I don't, honestly. I don't remember the guy is obsessed with Jason. The twin girls, D, I agree with that. I think they are probably I think D makes the most sense. Their backstory is sad. Whatever their dad did to them, or or whatever happened to get them or turn them into one-eyed ghouls similar to Kaneki, is definitely probably very sad, but they really don't have, much character at all. Oh, is this the dude who's oh no, that's who's obsessed with Jason. I was about to say, no, he's right here. The guy that hurt Akira in Kanal's lab. One of them cracks his finger too. Nope, I don't even remember. Couldn't even begin to tell you, Scarling. Not even worthy enough. You thought that was a girl? What do you mean? I thought that was a girl. I'm so confused. Who are we talking about? I'm so confused. I'm getting stun locked right now. We're moving on. I'm so confused. I don't even know who we're talking about at this point. Mario Bros said, huh? Exactly. I don't even know what's going on. But so the next character we have on the list is one of the people that breaks out of Cochlea. I don't remember their name, but they are the person who worships Jason, and they declare themselves the next Jason. The crying Jason fodder. Yeah. Nothing likable about him. Really kind of just annoying, a nothing burger of a character. Shouts loud, super weird, super just doesn't understand words. I don't understand what this character is supposed to be or why they even are, what they even showed up for. I don't know what we needed a replacement for of Jason for. Maybe in part 2, maybe they change, because it seems to be a lot of people, you know, like them, but I could care. I don't know who this is. I know who they are, but their character is so pointless to me. Up next we've got Noro, who honestly I probably can't rank because we don't know anything about, and I'll tell you right now, if I was to rank just based off of aura alone, you'd probably skip up all the way to like honestly B+ tier. Noro is probably one of the coolest designs of a character and has some of the coolest amount of aura that I've seen in part 1, but I can't rank them yet because I don't know too much about them. But yeah, you want to talk about a character that Ishta was actually able to give pure fucking raw energy and aura. It's this character right here. Every time I see them on screen, I get worried. Their design is meaningful, and I can't wait to see them in Re. Same with this gentleman right here. I don't know anything about them. They are clearly going to play a much larger role in part 2. They are one of the larger leaders of Awagiri Tree. We do see them working in the background and discussing plot related elements, but I don't know anything about them in part 1, and they don't have any kind of character moments besides, again, just discussing exposition for Awagiri Tree. So I can't rank them. Up next, we've got Jason. And, I mean, Jason's a C. Honestly, you know, I don't think he's that great of a character. Everything that he tortures Kaneki with and his moments of torturing Kaneki are awesome. I think the amount of work that he drills into Kaneki's brain is to be commendable. But as a character, I could give or take Jason. He's very important, and I would say he's important to Kaneki's development. I don't know if I'd call Jason complex. I mean, he just has a torture fetish. After being tortured for so long, he eventually, you know, turned everything around, and now he enjoys torturing other people to get back at life. And ends up, you know, making Kaneki turn around. But yeah, nothing about Jason really moved me as a character. You could have replaced him with literally anybody, and it wouldn't have made a difference at all to me. He's a guy that likes to torture people. I'll put him in C because of his important story beats and moments with Kaneki, but other than that, meh. I don't know who this is. I don't know. Is this Toka's dad? Maybe. This is one of the people in the gourmet. I think that's the mama, the big mama person, right? F. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. This is the person that confronts Yoshimura at the very end of the story. I can't rank them because we don't really know who they are. I'm sure we'll find out who they are in Ri. Rize is a fun little character. She's super cool. I'd put her like top of B. You know what? Yeah, I'd actually put her Rize in A. I'd put Rize in A with Banjo. Rize in that short little Rize chapter was able to win me more than any of the characters in B were. Honestly, with her being like just such a badass ghoul and being the binge eater over Banjo, yeah, Rize's got aura. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, give me a second. Right next to Motto. Right next to Motto. That one chapter where she just disorganizes an entire gang just because she wants to and then just sets Banjo as the leader. She's OP. You know, she's always in the background as an impactful character. I think Rize deserves A. And I'm excited to see how she fits into Ri. The fact that she was able to be used as the source of all the one-eyed ghouls. She's well read. I ultimately, just her aura alone makes me put her in S. The fact that, again, she had that short little Rize backstory chapter where Banjo does show up, where she's in, I forget what ward was it, the 14th ward, where she just goes to all the different wards and eats as much as she wants and is not worried about any of these fucking ghouls. She's just a badass. Just a badass. Shachi, who we talked about, I'm sorry. Does he have a character even? Does he show up in Ri maybe? Like I don't even know. I couldn't even remember his name. He's a character who shows up to be a wall block for Kaneki. And then after Kanal's lab, we never see him again. I don't even know what the fuck his whole point was as a character. And I kind of feel the same about like the ghouls that were broken out of the high security prison. What was their point for being broken out? What was so important about them, and why were they necessary? I don't think there was a single ghoul that was broken out of that prison that ended up being an important character to the story whatsoever. This Jason fanatic accomplishes literally nothing. Shachi is a wall block for Kaneki. Sure, as a fight, we'll put him at like top of F at best. But like, he doesn't even have a character, in my honest opinion. At least like these twin girls, they have a backstory. And we don't really even know too much about him. Like they have their whole thing with Juzo. They have personalities. Juzo takes them out. They have a nice little fight with Juzo. It's just, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Maybe you guys can fill me in on who these last three people are. But I don't know. Nishiki's sister, maybe. I'm assuming that might be who that is. I don't know who the fuck this girl is with the weird forehead. And that might be Toka's dad, maybe. But Toka's dad got A for me. That is Toka's dad. Okay, cool. We'll put Toka's dad at C tier. What if Yoshimura failed, but his backstory is just as good? Very true. Yeah, I like Toka's dad. Seems like a good guy. I can definitely put him in C. But yeah. I'm assuming this is Nishiki's sister. If this is Nishiki's sister, she can go right next to her brother. They can share their backstory together in D tier. That is the sister. I was correct. Kaneki should be an S tier. Maybe he will be by the end of part 2. Maybe when I finish Re, I'll move Kaneki up to S tier. But as of right now, again, like I said, the place that Kaneki's in, I don't think he deserves an S yet. However, Yoshimura, Juzo, Amon, clearly the 3 best characters that have come out of part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul. Kaneki's a close 4th. Toka's a good 5th. Then you've got Akira, Shinohara, Rize, Mato, Hideyoshi, Banjo, Sukuyama as the top of B. The clowns and some of the people that were able to leave a decent impact on me, or people that are, you know, interesting but just weren't interesting enough in part 1 for me to justify raising higher. People like Hitori, Uta, you know, Yomo, maybe in Re, they will grow. I do enjoy Hide. Yes, Hide is in A tier. Look at him right up here next to Banjo. Best boys. Respectfully, fuck the big 3. There's only big Kaneki. A. I hope I have that energy when I finish Re. That's the kind of energy I'm hoping to have. But yeah, this is honestly probably one of the weirdest tier lists that I think I've ever done in my entire life. And to be honest with you, these rankings are definitely, I want to clarify, within the realm of Tokyo Ghoul, right? Like, Amon, Juzo, Yoshimura, if I was to put them on an actual personal tier list, they'd probably be B tier characters, you know, at best. In the grand scheme of things, I think part of my miss for Tokyo Ghoul and why I can't really rate it any higher than like a 7 or a 6.5 is that there really just isn't anyone that grabs me and I immediately am like, this is my character. You know, this is the person that I can relate to and I think is super fucking cool. They're the closest people that I can think of are Juzo and Amon. Juzo's probably my favorite character. Amon's a close second. Yoshimura is definitely the third. Did not know you rated Tokyo Ghoul so low. I don't think a 7 is a low ranking. A 7 is a pretty high, in my honest opinion. You know, 7, 6.5, that's pretty high. At least it is for me in my grand scale of things. I know some people are different, but I don't give 7s out very easily. I'll give things 4s or 5s, no problem. What's JJK? I don't know. I don't even know what I would rate that series yet. If I had to say, maybe right now, like an 8, 8.5. Somewhere around there, maybe. 8 probably closer to the 8.5 than the 9, or than the 8. Probably closer to the 9 than the 8, but yeah, yeah. It's just there's just no real character that is fully connected with me. I love the message that Ishida sends with the ghouls human and blurring the boundaries between them and what is a human, what is a ghoul, but other than that, I mean, it's an interesting read, don't get me wrong, and I'm excited to see where Re goes, but as of right now, not Tokyo Ghoul really isn't that high on my enjoyment list. And hopefully Re changes that. I'm very much excited to get into it still. Will I change Jogo for your profile picture? I might update it. It will probably always be based on Jogo Gang, but we'll see what we can do. I've been thinking about doing an update, but I have to think about it, design and visualize it, and then send it to my artist and everything. Heart is broken. I can respect it. I give Tokyo Ghoul Part 1 a 9 out of 10 ranking and a JJK 7.5 for me. Yeah, to each their own. I can tell. I know a lot of people really love Tokyo Ghoul. Friend of the show, Broken Ronin, loves Tokyo Ghoul. Friend of the show, Radman, loves Tokyo Ghoul, and they love it more than anything. So, you know, I can see that this story definitely connected with a lot of people. For me, for some reason, that there's just, I'm missing that connection, I think. There's nothing that has connected me to this story. I think it's a great story. I think Ishida has an amazing art. A lot of the characters are fun, and I'm again very interested to see where Re goes. I wouldn't say I'm not saying I don't enjoy reading Tokyo Ghoul, but it's not high up on my list so far. But maybe Re can change that. And you can kind of even see that just based off of this very weird tier list I've concocted. This is again definitely the weirdest tier list I think I've ever done in my entire life. Yeah. It's just, yeah, this is how I feel. A lot of it is also weighed down by some of the D tier characters that really just anchor down the series for me. Toka's brother really anchors down the series for me. Nico really anchors down the series for me. A lot of the fact that a lot of the major villains are just very bland, very forgettable. Jason, forgettable. These girls, forgettable. The broken out ghouls from Cochlea, forgettable. A lot of the characters that are fun to watch on screen aren't on screen long enough. Last question, what do you think is better, Attack on Titan or Hunter x Hunter? Me personally, it's Hunter x Hunter. It's not even close. I would Attack on Titan is my favorite manga and story of all time. So unfortunately, I will never be able to rank anything higher than Attack on Titan. I think Attack on Titan is a perfect story for me. In my honest opinion, that's probably the highest rating I'd ever give an anime manga. Would I give it a 10? Maybe a 9.5, 9.75. I don't know if I'd ever give something a perfect 10 out of 10 and say it's flawless and it doesn't have anything wrong with it whatsoever. But Attack on Titan is one of the closest things you can get to a perfect story. Same with Code Geass for me. Attack on Titan and Code Geass are my neck and neck top series of all time. Nothing will ever be able to beat those two series, in my honest opinion. You want to talk about just something that has connected with me on a level that I will never be able to describe. Tokyo Ghoul is a great series, but yeah, Attack on Titan and Code Geass will always be, my top series of all time. Code Geass, I think, might actually be a 10 out of 10. Again, if not, it's a 9.99999. I honestly, I could rewatch Code Geass over and over and over and over again and love it more every single time. Same with Attack on Titan. I can pop into any moment of Attack on Titan and, be ready to go. But yeah, no, I need to do that 8-hour Attack on Titan rant stream. If I did an Attack on Titan, every character ranked, we would be here for 5 hours, because I would dissect John, Eren, Armin, Mikasa, all these characters for hours on end. I love every single one of them, and I could say so much about them beyond belief. Maybe one day, maybe one day. But again, thank you all so much. If you've made it all the way to the end, or if you were just tuning in and out, I just sincerely appreciate it. We made it through 2 tier lists this stream, and only in 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was thinking, oh my god, this is going to be a 4-hour stream, but actually, to be honest with you, the fact that I didn't really have too much to say about any of these characters really lent to the shortened time. And just, yeah, guys, like I said, don't take this as me not liking Tokyo Ghoul. I do enjoy it as a series. The art is amazing. The author is great. Even though there are some questionable aspects of the story that I have some things to say, but I'll save them until the end. As many people have mentioned, maybe Re will make me maybe change my tune, and also I'll like some of these characters even more in Re than I did in part 1. And here's hoping to that. But guys, yeah, I'm probably gonna call it a night. It's getting a little late for a Monday. I may stream again either Wednesday or Thursday. Just a little bit of fun stream. Maybe we'll do I'll draft my own Akatsuki Cartoon Network Akatsuki, draft my own Nicktoons Espada, stuff like that. I want to have some more fun streams. And then, of course, you can expect, if you know, to be here on Saturday. Every Hunter x Hunter chapter coming out, I will be streaming every week on Saturday. But yeah, expect to stream Wednesday, Thursday, sometime around then. Until then, I am going to be working on the Boomerang CP9 video to complete the quadruple fecta of the cartoon How Strong Are videos. Disney Phantom Troop did better than I expected it to. And I thought that was going to be the least viewed one, so here we are. So Boomerang CP9 should be a fun one to write and edit. That should be out probably by the end of this week if I can get it out. Look out for those streams. Look out for the Hunter x Hunter chapters. And again, guys, if you're interested in seeing me read through Tokyo Ghoul Re, consider becoming a member of the channel. Every Monday night around this time, we do read-throughs and book clubs. We just finished Tokyo Ghoul, which is why we had this tier list and why I'm not as well read on this series as I might be on other series, because again, just finished it fresh. And haven't had much time to really dive down and think about things. Also reading it out loud, so, kind of harder to pay attention than sitting down and thinking about things and taking things at my own pace. So if you have any issues or problems or questions, or I forgot something, or you thought I didn't have enough knowledge on the series to even do this tier list, I accept those comments. But at the end of the day, I at the very least hope this was entertaining and fun for you to watch. Again, this was definitely one of the weirdest tier lists I've ever done. But yeah, if you want to see me go through Tokyo Ghoul Re with the rest of the gang, consider becoming a paid member. And we're going to be taking next Monday off for a friend's birthday. And then right after that, we will go right into it. So that will be November 25th. Will be the start of Tokyo Ghoul Re, everyone. Hope everyone has a beautiful rest of your night, morning, or afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Just know I'm sending you that spirit bomb energy. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps the stream way more than you know. And most importantly, I hope I see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.